So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. We're here with Trevor from Young Planetary. We're going to ask him some questions. I'm going to start. What inspired you to start the band?
I was actually coming out of a previous band that we had written a bunch of material and we were ready to get back in the studio and like get on tour and all that stuff, but it didn't quite work out that way. So I took not a lot, but I took a couple of the songs from that batch and basically like started a solo project. And then, yeah, that's basically how it started. And then it's just kind of gone from there in terms of like incorporating other people and, finding other peeps to work with essentially.
Cool. Wait, so how did you find the other members then? How did you guys
Well, it's kind of funny because the current iteration of the band, I had known our bass player for a long time just through like music or whatever. And then our current guitar player approached me at a show that I played acoustic and said, "Hey, if you need a guitar player, let me know. I'd be super down to jam." And I was like, "All right, cool." And that was a couple years ago at this point. And then we just got a new drummer, so he's just a homie through some other homies.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Sick. So what would you say your writing process is like?
Well, so as of like right now, and it's probably going to change a little bit as time goes on, but I would basically write like the skeleton of the song, like the main structure, bring it to the dudes, and then they would kind of like fill in the gaps, and we'd sort of work on it from there. But the more time we like spend together, the more time we write together, it's becoming less and less of like a solo driven endeavor. It's going to incorporate everybody a little bit more, incorporate everybody more than we have in the past.
All right.
That's awesome. That means like everybody's bringing like something new to the table, I guess then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll eventually have to do a lot less. And they can do they can do even more.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
So what is the first song you wrote for the project?
It's this song called Crease, which is on the first EP that I put out back in 2013, I think at this point. It's been a long time. So that was the first one that was like written for this particular project. Like I said, there was a song or two that I had kind of worked on with that other band that I was in, but that kind of got shifted over, and even the songs from back then to what they became have changed a lot, especially back then in that first EP. But yeah, Crease was like the first, like, this is me writing completely fresh, void of any other previous influences, just like on my own. And that is, it's an old one.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the reception to your newest song, Dig? How do you feel about that?
It's been sick, actually. We haven't put anything new out in so long that it's hard to gauge like if people are going to care at all, and especially since we haven't been on tour since, I think it's been like 2 years at this point. So yeah, we've put like, and that's like a whole other story, but yeah, no, the reception's been awesome. We've been super stoked. We've been able to get it on a lot of like Spotify playlists, and all our friends here in town and all of our friends we know through like touring and playing music, they've all been super hyped on it. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, for dropping just a single, more or less like out of nowhere for people, especially during all of this, it's been rad. So it's been a really fun sort of, I don't know, it's just led to some cool opportunities that we've been able to like take advantage of now.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you said you haven't been on tour in 2 years. I'm sorry, Shane. Every time you go to say a question, I'm always like, hey, okay, I have another question. Are you planning on going on tour when this whole pandemic clears up, I guess?
Yeah. What's funny is that, so we had a full like 10-day like West Coast tour booked. And we were supposed to leave in 2 days. Obviously it's been pushed back, and I'm trying to not cry myself to sleep every night, but so it's pushed back to late August now. Thankfully we were able to hang on to most of the dates, although every day that could change, especially because we're not Metallica, we're playing small venues and those come and go like crazy. So yeah, we'll just kind of see what it looks like come late August, but there is a chance that it's going to get pushed back again to. I mean, I don't know at that point. Like we joked around that like a Halloween tour would be sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, hopefully,
You know,
hopefully, come Halloween, the smaller venues are allowed to like
Yeah.
start having shows, but we'll see.
yeah. And that's the hard part about trying to figure out a way to, or like a time to, excuse me, to reschedule is because, I mean, let's say everything opens tomorrow. That doesn't mean that people are going to start going to shows right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in like those smaller joints where it's already like so intimate. Everyone's already so on top of each other. So we're just trying to, feel it out and push it as far out as we can to where we will like actually be able to go. But we have a tour booked. Like it's ready. Like we're ready to go. Like let's go right now if we like had our choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the status on that.
Okay. So it's just a matter of the world getting its shit together, pretty much.
Yeah, and that that takes time and it's fucking nuts out there. So
Yeah.
we're just kind of waiting to see. But yes, like we will be going on tour. It is happening.
Okay.
I will if I have to. I don't know if I have to do it myself.
If you have to do
I don't
it
know.
on a
It's
stage
happening.
out of cardboard
Happening. Yes,
in
it's going
parking
down.
lots, yeah.
It's going down.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So what does your band name mean?
So it started as kind of like a ripoff of City and Color. So, he was in like a heavy type band and then he went solo and kind of changed the vibe quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like the story with his name is that when he would go places and people would say like, how do you spell Dallas Green? He would say it's a city in the color, which is like where the name came from.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to do something similar because I was in like a similar kind of like heavier band and then went solo and it got a little bit softer. It's kind of progressively gotten like heavier again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was basically like young at heart, right? And then Planetary, like obsessed with space and just sort of like the great unknown in whatever capacity you want to interpret that. But yeah, that's essentially where the name came from.
So where does that comma come in then?
It's just, I don't know, man.
Just
so
to separate
like
the two ideas?
So instead of like, it's a young planetary, it's like young comma planetary.
Okay.
So like if you're like describing a person, it's like they're young planetary, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school for writing, so like punctuation is just like in my brain at all times.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
So, because we're all stuck inside with quarantine, what bands have you been listening to recently to pass the time?
Oh, I just kind of switched up the vibe a little bit today. I've been listening to a lot of like Cold Collective, which is Tim Landers from Transit's band that he was in before he passed. Rest in peace. And then Can't Swim has been on my playlist a lot just because they're sick. And they're so like heavy but melodic, but so all over the place, which is kind of where our music's at. So it's nice to listen to people that kind of, like to mix things up.
Yeah.
And then the new Boston Manor is super sick. I've been
Taste.
bumping that a lot. What else? I mean, Trophy Eyes is just always on. I'm obsessed with them. They're like my favorite band, especially right now. What else, man? I mean, I don't know. That's probably the big ones, at least in the last couple weeks.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Good bands, good list.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good music all over the place. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So are you working on any new projects while you're stuck at home?
Yes. So we're writing still. I did a couple live streams like solo over the last like month or so where I got to play some of the new stuff that I didn't like do it all during this kind of lockdown thing, but I finished a lot of stuff that I had sort of in the works. So I got to play some new stuff for people during those live stream shows, which was pretty cool. But yeah, we're kind of pretending like everything's okay and just staying on our normal game. Okay. We've honestly been super busy during the last like couple months, which I know is probably weird since most people have been the opposite.
Yeah.
But no, we've been steady grinding, doing whatever we can behind the scenes and on the back end, and with the different management peeps that we're working with and blah blah blah. But yeah, we're writing still. We're still working on stuff. Okay. We've been sending clips back and forth.
All right.
Good. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what artists would you say are your biggest inspirations when you're writing music?
That changes a lot. So for a lot of the newer stuff in like a certain batch of songs that I was kind of working on, the Reverie Lagoon by Sea Haven is a big inspiration just because of the way that they're able to create like a vibe and like a sensation with that album. It wasn't like they were writing traditional song structures or like doing anything, pretty typical. Although the songs themselves are like fairly straightforward, they were able to just create like such a rad ambiance. And I've been trying to do that kind of stuff with at least, in the little bit in our music that I'm allowed to do that, because we're definitely like a loud, fast, energetic type band. But with the like slower, clean stuff that we have in our newer stuff, I've been trying to, put together different pedal configurations and do a lot of research on that, and to just figure out like a vibe,
Yeah.
Because we can play heavy and fast and distorted all day every day. Like that stuff dialed in is going to be dialed in forever. But like the kind of cleaner, softer aspect, I'm trying to expand on a little bit more.
Okay.
I would say, but yeah.
So what is the first concert you attended?
I saw Blink-182 when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
Wow.
Damn.
Yep. And they were on tour with Cypress Hill and Phoenix TX.
All right.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really weird. I can barely remember it now, but yeah, that was the first like big type show. Like, this is a band I want to see. Like not including other live music I saw before that, but like this is a show like I want to go to, like as a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first one that kind of changed everything.
All right.
Awesome. Cool. It's a good band. So
yeah, especially back then, it was like just a bunch of poo poo and pee pee jokes, and it was pretty silly.
Yep.
My grandma hated it. She took me and she hated it. It was so funny.
Her grandmother.
Dude, yeah.
Blink-182 show.
Well,
20
like
years ago.
she's tight though. Like she's
Okay,
tight.
okay.
She can hang. Like it's she's no slouch. But yeah, she just kept turning to me. I was like, I hate this. This is so terrible. And I was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, right. Give me a break. This is
like, this is
rad.
hilarious.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Come on, Grandma.
I mean, like, what can you do if you're already there? It's not like you're gonna leave.
Yeah, and it was like a massive. I mean, that was back when. Let's see, if I was 10, that was probably like 2000, maybe 2001. So that was back when they were like kind of just coming out of their really straightforward pop punky days and like going into the Enema of the State sort of arc of their career. So it was like a really rad time to catch them. Looking back, I didn't even realize like the show I was at the time, but looking back, years later, I'm like, wow, that was kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good era. So
Yeah, for sure.
it wasn't like, well, how do you feel about 9?
I didn't listen to it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it. I should, but I haven't, and I probably won't, to tell you the truth. But California had some cool tracks, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Glory disappeared, so I'll just keep asking the questions.
Yeah, go for it, man.
What are your top 3 songs to perform live? I may haven't played in a while, but
I'll stick to. Let's see which song. I guess we're pretty much playing like the EP front to back at least live now. So I'll pick like the songs off the EP that we like the most. The first track that isn't out yet, it's called Villain. Just a really good set starter. It's kind of like this drawn out, really loud, vibey, like guitar part, these kind of heavy drums behind it, and that's always like a good, like get the blood flowing, get people into it, because it just kind of starts off the set like just really big. And then our first single, Dig, is honestly a really fun one to play because it's just to the point. There's no real like breaks in it musically. It's like kind of the same vibe all throughout, where it's just kind of coming at you at full speed, and that's always really fun because people seem to like that one a lot because it's just a good little jam. Just a good little jam. And then okay, this is hard. So the second and third song on the EP are really great. They have breakdowns, and those are always fun.
okay.
But the last track, which is actually going to be our second single, which everyone will be able to hear pretty soon, comes out early June. I don't remember the exact date, but That one's really cool because it's sort of like our more like mainstream sounding track.
Okay.
It's like real poppy and like really catchy and has some crazy time signatures.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's really fun to play. We always get like pretty good reaction from that one, so I'm excited for people to hear it and start learning the words to it because it'll be a fun sing along type jam.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about an EP. Is that recorded like completely?
Our EP currently?
Yes. Well, the one that
yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. It's just not out yet.
Do you guys have like somewhat of a release date for that?
Yes, so we're thinking early August is when the record itself will drop.
Okay.
So we dropped Dig like toward the end of April, and then we have Separate Rides Home, which is the second single that I was just talking about, out in the middle or the very beginning of June.
Okay.
And then the EP, we're thinking August, but it just kind of depends. But between like the label we're working with and our manager, and we just signed on with this like publicist company type thing. So like we just have to wait for them to have all of their requirements put together.
Yeah.
And then we'll just, drop it from there, just get as much exposure. Because, they need time to like secure features and reviews, interviews, all that stuff. So, but yeah, our job's pretty much done. We get to just like sit back and just wait for it all to come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exciting.
Yeah, that's rad.
Look, awesome. So, where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
5 years. Let's see. We take things really slow, so hopefully, 5 years, like a little while ago, probably we wouldn't have gotten much done. But next 5 years, like obviously the EP, and then a year from then, like we better have new music out. That would just be ridiculous to not. Because we have like another huge batch of songs ready to go. We just need to find like studio to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There's
wow.
kind of some stuff we're talking about now. So yeah, like next year at least, new music, tour as much as possible. More new music,
All right.
tour. Just like the pretty standard thing. I mean, right now it's kind of hard to say like what the industry is going to look like after all of this. Because the usual answer would be like, oh, well, Warped Tour, and then it'd be like, oh, this would be cool, or blah blah blah. But yeah, it would be cool to get like on a bigger label, new music, touring, in that basically in that capacity.
Okay.
And to play in the UK, that would be sick.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
5 years, that would be tight.
Yeah, that's something to shoot for. So for the last couple of questions, we're gonna move away from music and go straight to death row. If you're on death row, what would your last meal be and why?
Oh man, that's so tough. Because I love all kinds of food. So it's my last meal, so I can like mix it up all over the place, right? Like it doesn't have to be like one particular deal.
No.
All right.
No. Go for it.
Sushi.
All right.
Some really good ravioli. Some really good like pasta sauce.
All right.
Solid.
Some pizza, like really good pizza, like some legit, some like real shit.
Yeah, none of that garbage.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're not fucking around.
Yeah.
And then like
Do you have any
really
like you want to call out? Just like that garbage, like not like Papa John's. Wait, no. Well,
dude, I don't know. Let's
come on.
yeah.
Who do you want to throw
Who am I
under the bus?
under the bus?
Under the bus.
Let's see. Where have I had some shit ass pizza lately?
Exactly.
Lately.
Dude, like Little
Domino's.
Caesars.
Little
Dude,
Caesar,
I like Domino's.
Yeah,
Oh, bro,
Domino's
I
hits.
love Domino's too.
And people give me shit all the time. They're like, "You like Domino's?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good."
Yeah, Domino's
There's
hits.
thin
God.
crust.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no joke. That's good. And then so Little Caesars.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, hot and ready. No, dude.
No.
It's not my ass.
Exactly.
Not hot and ready at all.
Somebody said it.
Yeah.
Cold and solid.
So, yeah, dude. Fuck that. I'm not about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throw some pizza in there. So what is that? Sushi, ravioli, pizza, like a good steak with like
Alright.
some potatoes and some really nice veggies.
Okay.
And then let's just fill it out with just like a bunch of roasted vegetables of some kind. And then I think I'd be pretty covered to like get executed after that. That'd be solid.
Yeah, you'd go out in a food coma.
Exactly.
Yeah, which might help being executed if I'm already asleep.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're already falling asleep. You're just,
Yeah, I'm thinking ahead here.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Wow. That's a lot of thought put into that. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh my god, you guys are like really getting me with these ones.
With the funny questions, yeah.
Well, like I'm obsessed with Lord of the Rings, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be sick. It'd be cool to like live in some sort of space, like Guardians of the Galaxy type thing would
Oh,
probably be
yeah.
pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
And then like some whoa shit,
Oh.
and then like some like underwater world.
Okay.
What was that? Like,
Like Atlantis?
Atlantis.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Or the movie Waterworld. That would be
Waterworld.
sick.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's like Mad Max but on the ocean.
Oh,
And
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
good. That movie came out, I mean, I was like a baby pretty much. But that movie rips. It's so good.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Sick.
So this is our last question. Some say it's the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple? Any specific
Hands down.
shade?
Frick you.
I mean, I don't have like a specific shade. I mean, most shades of it are tight. I don't really have a preference that I can think of. Yeah, just like purple in general, I think is rad. It's a good color.
All right.
It's a very good color. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all the
Hella
questions we
solid.
have.
Cool.
Is there anything you want to plug?
Yes. So Dig is out now. Go listen to it and add it to your Spotify playlist. Tell your friends, share it around, learn all the words because like eventually we will be in your city. It'll
Oh, yeah.
happen. I'm
Alright.
manifesting it now. It's gonna go
Yes.
down. Be on the lookout for our second single and the music video that goes along with it because that's sort of like the next little thing we have coming out, and then the EP when it drops.
All right.
And covers that. And then our merch. We just got a bunch of new stuff right before all of this happened because we were gearing up to go on tour, for May.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff that we need to unload. So if you need some new t-shirts, hit up our Bandcamp and you can buy some stuff.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So this has been Trevor from Young Planetary, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.